Now, the D-Day has arrived and the contractions are starting. Today we're going to talk about natural labor, when the contractions start on their own. So what's a contraction? Let's talk about it. Energy speaking, a contraction is applied forces that are helping gravity pull your baby towards the earth out of your body. So within your aura, there are energies, there are flows, there are magnetic forces. You have the magnetic forces of the earth, and the universe is also constantly applying its forces. So you are caught in the middle, and basically the contraction is an applied force that comes from outside of you. It's going to penetrate into your aura, then into your body, and it's going to have a physical reaction to it. So the trick is that you need to prepare yourself for that exercise. The thing is that you cannot train for it until it happens, because you don't even know what a contraction feels like. And the thing is that you can Google it. What you will find is that for some women, the contractions are happening on their belly, on the top part. For some women, it's happening in their back, in their lower back, around the sacrum area, or for some, it's the pubic area, the pelvis. For some, it's the legs, okay? So you don't know yet what's a contraction. You don't know yet how your contractions are going to be. What I'm saying is that it's also unmistakable. So don't worry, you won't miss them when it happens. It doesn't matter where they are or where they come from. What matters is that you can identify where is the force coming from. So I will give you an example, something that I experienced with my second child. I was sleeping, it was around 2 a.m. A sharp pain woke me up and I was like, oh, what is that? What is going on? I got a little worried about it, but at the same time I was excited. My first birth was induced, so it was very different. Here it was happening naturally. I was at home and I was very excited. So anyway, sharp pain wakes me up and I'm thinking, contractions. Middle of the night, I didn't want to wake up my husband yet. I was thinking maybe it's just a one-time thing. And I was lying down and the pain was really bad. So that's what I said. When you are surprised, you're overpowered, overwhelmed, and the pain starts. So I decided to go downstairs. I had done a bit of preparation for birth. So one thing that I knew, and because of my first one, is that I needed to ground myself very firmly. I was dressed comfortably and I decided to spread my legs a little bit to stand firm. I'll show you. I can do it. I can do this with you. So I remember 2:30 a.m. or something like that. I'm in the middle of my living room alone. And I decide to see what happens. And again, it surprised me, and another round of pain came. And I was thinking like, oh, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. So what I did was, okay, I grounded myself. I spread my legs apart like this to really be firm in the ground. The idea, remember, we are talking of applied forces from the earth and from the universe. So you want to be like an antenna that's going to receive the flow. I put my legs like this, firm in the ground. I will show you like this. One of the very important technique is to, let me put my belly out a little bit, is to lift your belly, okay? Because the contraction is applying forces downwards. So your belly will hurt a bit. So if you lift your belly up a bit, already the pain is going to diminish tremendously. And at that stage, you don't really need your husband to do that for you or to help you. If he's there and if he wants to help, that's wonderful. But it's okay if it's something that you do on your own. So you're firmly in the ground. You hold your belly like this. You lift it up. And then you need to focus. So this focus, for me, I needed to close my eyes, okay? And what happened was, hold on, I'm trying to think what to do. So one thing I felt when I closed my eyes is that I could feel the energy. At first I didn't realize it was coming from here. Maybe I felt it come here and it would go It was a flow of energy going like this, going all the way into my back, and then flowing down. See, at first, when you're just into the physical, you will only feel a kind of pain all over you, but you don't really know what it is. When you start focusing, you will see that it has a trajectory. It starts, it enters somewhere, it flows into a specific direction, and then it exits. So once you catch that, you have it. And that's when you start having the power and the control, and that's when the breath is important. Because I always find it, I was always surprised when everybody is telling you, yes, you need to breathe. Breathing is the key to dealing with contractions. Yes, breathing is one key, but it's not all of it. Sensing the forces that are creating the contraction is the other half. To me, that is the key. So coming back to this, I realized that the forces were entering into my aura from the side, coming into my belly, and then moving in. It was half in and half outside of me, going like this. And as I said, going down and exiting. That might have lasted, 15, 20 seconds, but it's long when you're in pain. But I got it, I was so happy. I was thinking, you know what? I lift my belly, I ground myself, I breathe through it, I accompany. That's the other thing. Don't try to resist it. Don't try to stop it. You want your body to go through it. You want your body to open up. You want your cervix to open. You want the baby to come. So there's no way. We are not there to stop it. We're not there to diminish it. We are just there to reduce the pain and to have a beautiful birth. So here I was, and that went on for maybe 2-3 hours. Of course, how long it lasts, it will depend. It depends on your body. It depends on so many things that we can't know in advance. Some women deliver in 3 pushes in 1.5 hours, it's out. And for some women, labor is 72 hours. In my case, it was 14 hours, 16 hours on an average. The first 2-3 hours, I was so happy. I got into the flow. The pain at first, the one that surprised me into bed and when I was lying down and I was not grounded and so on, it might have been at first 70% and then 90% where you feel completely paralyzed. But once I got it, 10% of level of pain for 15 seconds, totally manageable. We got it for 2-3 hours till it became every 7 minutes. My father was living closer to the hospital, so I decided that while things were still manageable, I wanted to go over there. So we went over there, and somehow it kind of took me off my flow because I had to sit in the car. Then once we arrived, I spoke to my father. We started talking about how excited we were, and somehow this took me out of my focus. So from 7 minutes interval, it went back to 15 minutes. I waited another 2 hours, 2-3 hours, and I remember around 8 a.m. It was every 6.5, 7 minutes, we decided to go to the hospital. And so far, for all those hours, the contractions were completely manageable, relatively easy, nothing painful, really, nothing dramatic at that stage. So we go to the hospital, and again, they ask you, okay, what's your name? Give me your charts from all your blood tests, your blood results. If they didn't ask me for a birth plan, but if you have, I guess that's when you give, or maybe when you get to the other midwives, so the ones that will really be with you in active labor. But anyway, again, I got distracted because I was out of the flow. I was not controlling it. So, and the contractions were kind of going away. So I had to walk. They made me, pace a bit in the hospital, try to walk, try to get back. And I was alternating at that time between sitting and standing, sitting and standing. That was helping to kind of keep the flow of contractions because it would go on and off. That's it. In the end, that's all it is. It might not be much, but this is the key. I am now going to make an additional note about that. Why it's a key. because you might have heard that before. But labor, delivery, is a marathon. If you have to undergo pain for hours and hours, trust me, by the time you reach 5, 6, 10 hours, you will be exhausted. You will be drained. You will want to go home. You will want this to be over. But if you can manage the level of pain to 10%, then you're keeping your own energy intact and you can go on for much longer. You will have strength for the final push. You will have a lot more energy to carry on and to go to the next step.